In my opinion, this thing today, this elimination, it's one of the things I actually teach in my ACT class. I have an ACT class that happens after school, and it's one of the best ways to solve these systems. I think it's way faster and easier than using substitution, because substitution, it's got so many steps. Watch how fast this is. Everybody write this down with me. Y equals 2x plus 6 and 3y equals negative 2x. Let me make sure I get this right here. If I put in a 1 and 8, 24, minus 22. Sorry, I had a wrong sign there. There, look at those two. Do you get if you had to graph this, the top one actually would graph pretty easy, but the bottom one would have to be solved first, and it'd be kind of a pain. So graphing is tedious, takes a while. Substitution, I taught you that yesterday. You could have taken all this and stuck it where the y was, but that's actually a really slow way. We teach it to you first because you're supposed to know this method called substitution. But watch how fast this is. If I add straight down, like I add here, I like to call it combining because sometimes when they're both positive, it does add. Like this adds to this and it makes 4y. But when they're opposites, they just cancel each other out because, you know, they're opposites. And then combining 6 and negative 22 makes negative 20, help me.
It would be 20. It would be like 18.
Wait.
No, 16.
Not 20 something, you're right. Sorry. Negative what? 16, there it is, thank you. I just could not think for a second. My brain completely locked up. I couldn't combine these two. Anyways, thank you for your help. Now I'm dividing by 4, and look, all I had to do was add them together and something eliminated. See, the x's were just gone. And now I'm dividing by 4 and I'm already done. I had one step. Y equals negative 4. That's it. I mean, most people really like it if their problem only has, well, I guess it was really 2 steps. You had to add it together and then divide by 4. That was it. Give you another one. Actually, it's this slide. The process. You either add or subtract the equations. I like to say combine them. That way it covers both. When you combine them, you're either adding or subtracting them, whatever the signs are. When the coefficients of one variable are opposites, you can add the equation and it will eliminate a variable. Like the 2x and the minus 2x, they canceled out. All right, move on. Look at this one. Watch how fast it is. Draw a line under it. Do you remember the deal where if they're opposites, they cancel each other out? Then that x's are eliminated. They're gone. Now we're combining 2y and 8y. That makes 10y. And I'm combining these. Again, it's either add or subtract. Depends on the signs that are there. So this one's negative 10. Thankfully, my brain is working now. And I'm dividing both sides by what now? 10. And I get y equals negative 1. See how fast that is? This is like 5 times faster than yesterday's. But one more thing. Do you also remember that these are points? So I'm supposed to know what x and y is. So I got one of my answers. But just like on substitution, then you go back and stick it into one of the equations. I'm going to stick this in right here. And I'll get 4x plus 8 times negative 1 equals 20. Still pretty fast comparison though. So then I'm going to add 8 to both sides. 4x equals 28. 7. My final answer is 7 comma negative 1. Are there any parts of that that you want me to explain? Like, where did that blue equation come from? Or why'd you put it something comma something? Any questions? Liv, could you shut the door, please? I'm starting to hear some lunch noise out there. Yes? Does part of that bother you? I'll explain it. Okay, let me check.
If you just combined it like all at once, so he.
Wait, I did kind of skip a step. Right there, that is a negative 8. But then I added 8 to both sides to counteract the negative 8. Okay? So I added 8 to both sides. That's why this is 28. Okay. Let's do another one. Go to this page. Try it yourself. You'll see we set it up nice so something eliminates. Ian, what eliminates?
9y, or minus 9y and plus 9y.
Yep, they're gone. We're combining these. Don't get all twisted about, is it add them? Is it subtract them? It's negative 2 and 4. Put them together, and what do you get? 2x. And put these together, and I told you before, it's kind of like a battle between the positive and the negative. There's more negatives in this case. They win. Negative 2. And then x equals, can you divide by 2 in your head? Negative 1. Who had negative 1? Awesome. See how easy that is? And there is this other part of it, which is kind of a pain in the butt. Not going to even do it in this case. But I would take this and I would stick it back in to the top equation and solve it to find out what y is. But I feel like that's the easy part. We just take this equation right here and we stick negative 1 in x. And I think you can all do that by now. If you can't, it's just because you're not being careful. And you'd solve for y. All right, let's go to the next page. This one's a little trickier. Do you get that they are not going to eliminate those x's? A novice just goes, cancel out the 6 x's. No, they're not the same thing. I mean, they are the same thing, so we want them to be opposites. So here's what you do. Did you know that if you wanted to, you can go through and change every sign in an equation to the opposite of what it was? Normally math teachers say that by multiply everything by negative 1. I'm just saying you can go opposite, opposite, opposite. And that's okay for you to show your work that way even. You just made everything opposite. Let me prove that that actually works. Would you agree that 5 plus 1 is 6? If you want to make it all opposites, negative 5 plus negative 1 makes negative 6. You can do that. You can put negatives on everything, and it works. Okay, so we just make everything opposite of what it was, and now stuff will cancel. Go ahead, finish this one. Solve for y, you'll get like y equals 2 or something. Figure it out. Because these do cancel now because they are opposites now. Carl appears to be absent. Oh, Lily, can you grab this? Here, just hand this back to Lily. Sick of making new ones? Is it not in here? If you got it in yourself, that'd be awesome. All right, Ashlyn, can you tell me what happened when you put the 6 and then through a negative 3y together? What'd you get? 3y. equals 18. And then y(s) equals 6. Raise your hand if you had y equals 6. Awesome. What if I was a big meanie pants and made you finish it? You would stick the 6 in here where the y is, because this is y is 6, right? So you'd put a 6 there, and you could solve it for x. It's not hard. I'll write it and finish it. Negative 6x plus 6 times 6 is 36 equals 6, and then I would solve it. And that, you can handle solving something like that, can't you? Okay, Grace, question.
So, for second, how you did like, how you changed the negative 6x plus 3y, I get why you changed the signs of those, but like, why would you change like 12?
All three of them had to get changed. If I'm going to change these two, I have to change that one. You go all the way through the whole equation. It'd be comparable to my little example I gave you of 5 plus 1 equals 6. I can't just make it negative 5 plus negative 1 equals regular 6. I got to change that to negative 6 too. Okay, got to do it to everything. All right, next up. This one is not going to work nice. So you got to do something to it so that it will work nice. Remember how I just made everything the opposite of what it was? I went through and made everything opposite day. That won't help this time. But what if I went through and multiplied the green one by 4? No, wait. Then I would still have negative 4x, which is not exactly opposite of each other. So I don't want to do that one. Multiplying everything by 4 won't work. Who can tell me something that would work? Multiply everything by what? Back. Yes. Everybody multiply the bottom one by 3 and you'll see what happens. Very nice. Avia, what cancels that? Yep, those. And EJ, what do negative 4x and negative 3x together make? Correct, sir. And Jack, what is 3 times 13 and it's negative? You can use a calculator if you want. It's totally okay. 39 is correct. So it's negative 39, and then I got to put it with negative 17. Sorry, I gave you the hardest part, Jack. What's negative 17 and negative 39 make? No, they're both negative, so it's going to be a big negative number.
Negative
56, yes. And now look at that. Isn't that going to be super easy to solve? 7 times what makes 56? What's the answer? X equals what? 8. Now I know some of you, your multiplication skills are weak. It's okay. We're compensating for that with, you can use a calculator, but 7 times 8 is 56. So that's all you had to do on that one. And then am I done? Well, technically you'd have to go back to get the rest of it and stick this x equals 8 into either one of the equations would work. But if I pick the top one there, you'd put the 8 there and you'd have to solve. I'm just trying to save some time because I think you could do that. I don't feel like that's hard.
Well, you went from just having the green to just negative 7x equals negative 6.
This is the last melon. And then we'll be able to actually start our homework before lunch, which is amazing. All right, Grace.
So for the last one, like, I don't get how you got negative 7. Like,
All right, that was just dividing both sides by, I can't move to the last slide or it's going to mess up the video. So can you read me what it was right before the end? It was negative something. Tell me the equation before I...
for the green one?
Just, I was partway through the problem. Tell me the equation partway through. Here, wait. Okay, that negative 7x came from the negative 4x and the negative 3x. You see them right above each other? See, there's a negative 4x and a negative 3x?
Oh, okay.
That's how we get the negative 7x. Okay. All right, now, this one. Yuck. To be honest, if I had to solve this one, I would probably not graph it because I'd have to solve for y on both of them, and that would take forever. I would probably not use substitution because there's nothing solved. It doesn't say like y equals or x equals anything. So I guess I have to use this elimination thing, but I can't see anything that I can just go times by that makes it all better. Like if I go through and times everything by like 1 or 2 or 3 or -1 or -2 or -3, it's not getting better. So then this is brutal, and I don't think we'd have one this hard on a test. But I'm gonna see if somebody can help me finish this. If I multiply this whole equation by 4, can anybody tell me what I should multiply the other equation by to make it work nice? Yes. If I multiply the top one by 3 and the bottom one by 4, Ian saw that that would make these cancel, and he's right. So those are gone because they're both 12y and -12y. And this one's 15x and -8 makes 7x. And this one's 18 and -4. 18 minus 4, 14. Oh, boom, it's super easy. X equals 2. So you get how we had to times the top and the bottom one by something? You know, I went kind of fast there. I multiplied the top one by 3. Multiplied the bottom one by 4. And it worked out nice because these right here eliminated. That's why this is called the elimination method. And again, if I was going to be a meanie pants, I would say, now you got to go take that and stick it back in the equation. You will have to do that on your homework. I'm just trying to save us a lot of time. So I'm just going to show this last one. I would go 5x plus 4y equals 6. And then I know x is 2, right? So I go put the 2 here. So this is 10 plus 4y equals 6. Subtract 10. 4y equals -4. Oh, y equals -1. It takes some extra time, but I think you'd be able to stick 2 in the equation. You can put it in either equation and it would work. All right, I feel like you've got this, but I'm never going to know until we start the homework. So everybody find the homework for today and open it up, and we'll do the first couple problems together. And then when you come back from lunch, we'll just be working on this. This is called the elimination method. All right, is today's a Schoology quiz or is it a worksheet? Schoology quiz. Would you read me the first problem, numero uno, Amelia?
X plus 2y equals 10.
And the other one?
X plus y equals 6.
Now, is this risk ready to just add straight down? No, because nothing cancels. But you get to do opposite day on one of them. Opposite, opposite, opposite. I bet a lot of you would have known that. Then these two will cancel. This is perennially challenging for some kids. Just put a 1 here. If you don't really know what to do and it's just a y, make it a -1y. Megan, can you tell me what the 2y and the -1y make? Just y. 10 minus 6 is 4. Boom, y equals 4. Can I just type that in? No, because they are going to ask for both answers, right? X and y. Lily, can you tell me in the Schoology quiz, did they put it like a point, like something comma something? Do they want the answers in like
Yeah, they did.
something comma something? Okay, good. So then the y is 4. We're done with the y, but what's the x? Well, I got to go put it in. And this time you can't just like say, well, that's going to take too long. Got to do it. The 4 goes in there. And that's a new equation. X plus 2 times 4 is 8 equals 10. I can do that in my head. What's x? 2. 2 plus 8 is 10. So x must be 2. 2 comma 4 is the answer then. Okay. Of course, that was probably the easiest one because that's the first one.
Oh, no, the second one's better.
Is the second one actually not hard?
It's easier.
Easier? Okay, cool. All right. So this is the part where I just want you to work quietly on homework. We'll all know when it's time for lunch. And I have nothing new other than what I just taught you. So today is a good day to ask me lots of questions if you get stuck. If you want to know how to graph them and you really aren't awesome at graphing, then that would be something that we could do. You could ask me about how to solve with substitution.
Well, actually, the second one.
Read me the second one.
You found it.
Just read it to me.
Fraction.
Just read it to me.
3x plus 4y equals 9. Negative 3x minus 2y equals negative 3.
Equals what?
Negative 3.
Negative 3. Okay. Would you agree that adding straight down these just cancel?
Yeah, yes.
So then I'm going to add these straight down and I get 2y equals 6. I think, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah, no, I never.
Okay, you just were doing a brain fart, that's all. Okay. And then you just go plug that back into the other equation. Remember that sometimes you have to multiply the bottom equation by something. And then stuff will cancel. All right, that's all I got for you for the video for today.